introduced Jim earlier. Welcome again. Thank you for coming today. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Kelly.
Of course.
Glad to be here.
So why don't you introduce yourself and tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
My name is Jim Alaviso. I'm an open water swimmer. I'm also a coach. I love to swim, and I love the St. Johns River.
That's awesome. And you're getting ready to do a really cool event. Let's go ahead and throw up the event graphic there so everybody can write it down.
Like a jumping fish.
And tell us how this came about.
Well, I've been wanting to swim across the St. John River for quite a long time. It's something I thought about back in 2004 after having a pretty bad bike accident, and I thought training for that would be a good way to recover. And I always loved the St. Johns River, and I was standing on the dock over at County Dock in Mandarin near Walter Jones Park one day, and that's where I conceived of the idea. Here we are, a few years later, and I was walking out of a local restaurant one day and saw one of your rain barrels. And I thought, what a way to raise awareness for St. Johns River. So I called Jimmy Orth, and you guys seemed to like the idea, and here we are. So we've been out in the river training. We've done 6 expedition swims already, and it's been a lot of fun. So,
and we couldn't find anybody that had ever done this before, right?
Not this width of the river, no.
Yeah,
it's a 3.5 mile swim, and it's about 2 hours of swimming. Yeah.
Wow. And when you first thought of the idea, was it a little bit overwhelming, or what steps did you know you were going to have to take in order to accomplish this goal?
Oh, sure. It was very overwhelming. First of all, I was nowhere near as good a shape as I needed to be to do it, and that was part of why I wanted to do it. It's a bucket list thing for me. And
great bucket list.
Yes. So I had to train a lot. I had to change my diet a bit and make some adjustments to get in shape. At 56 years old, it's not an easy thing to do. Have a good support team. I have a great bunch of good open water swimming friends. The Duval Ocean Swimmers have been very helpful. We go out swimming out on the beach for a mile every Sunday. That's been very helpful.
And how is that, swimming in the ocean in comparison to the river?
Swimming in the river is a lot different than swimming in the ocean. Swimming across St. Johns River is a challenge because we're crossing currents. And it's a lot different than swimming in the ocean, because generally swimming in the ocean, you're swimming with a current. In the St. Johns River, we're going to take off from Fleming Island Marina in Orange Park and swim our way across and let the tidal current take us north. And by that time, it's about an hour later, and the tide will be pretty close to low tide, and then the current will kind of rest for us as we swim across the peninsula over to County Dock. So we have to do a little math to make that work. So.
And when people drive over the river in that section of the river, it looks glassy, and because there's not much elevation to the river, it looks really lazy. And so I'm sure that was a little bit of a shock to see that there was so much current and tide that you had to worry about there.
Oh, sure. We GPS track our expedition swims as we train for this, and we take those tracks and we lay them down on a Google Earth map. And every expedition, every training exercise we did, you could actually see, once we get out into the main current, how it just sweeps us up.
Oh, wow.
And we have to take advantage of that and work with it. It's a very zen experience. And we're not conquering the river, we're working with the river. And we're hoping, by doing this, we can raise awareness for the river, especially for the GP issue.
Yeah, and Jimmy actually pointed out that the length of your swim is the same length of this pipeline that's going to be going in. Well, hopefully not, but is proposed to go in. So it's kind of an interesting tie-in. You are not swimming in Palatka, though. You're swimming in Jacksonville, right? You leave from Fleming Island Marina? Yeah,
that's correct. We're swimming from Fleming Island Marina, 3.5 miles across to County Dock in Mandarin near Walter Jones Park, Mandarin Museum and Historical Society. Although I've heard the term thrown about, the pipeline swimmers now, so.
Uh-oh. Pipeline swimmers. Well, hey, any way we can make the opposition voice stronger, right?
Yeah.
So why don't you walk us through how you prepare for this swim and how you jump in and take it from there. And do you have anybody joining you on these expeditions?
Sure. We've had 6 expeditions so far, and 2 of them have been group swims. Our first event in July is a solo swim, And our next event in October is a race across the St. Johns River. So and during our expeditions, we wanted to practice me working as a solo swimmer, and then we wanted to bring in some other great swimmers in Jacksonville to work with us. So in two of our expeditions, we had Diego de los Rios, Samantha Valverdes, Susan Wallace of the Hammerheads, and Katie Bomley swimming with us.
Awesome.
And
how does it feel when you're going into County Dock? Why don't we throw that picture up there and show Jim and his team kind of going into County Dock? How does that feel when you finally get there?
It's pretty exciting. I mean, when we jump in the river at Fleming Island, it's pretty daunting looking at this great expanse of water. And, you know, it seems very, very far away. And it is far away. Mm-hmm. And we are taking a part of the way off a current, so it's pretty fun. But after about 2 hours of swimming, close to 2 hours, yeah, when we see the dock, you know, we're ready to head on in. Yeah, it's
and let's show the last picture of Jim and his team.
Yeah, there we are. Yeah, that's Diego there on the left, and Susan Wallace, and we have Samantha Valverde. This was our last mission, and one of our captains, Chuck, out behind there, hiding behind us. Doesn't like his picture taken.
And so if you want to come see Jim do his solar trek across the St. Johns River, the best way for you to see him is to go to County Dock on July 17th. It's a Sunday. Get there at 9:30, and you should be seeing him coming towards the dock. And we're going to have some banners and some activities there, so definitely come cheer him on. And what was your whole purpose of doing this? And what is the number one, what I really want to ask is, what's the number one question you get of why you're doing this? What's the number one thing people come up and ask you?
This is the why question. Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
A friend of mine said, you know, Jim, there are boats and they have motors.
Well, on that note.
Also, if you want more information, just go to jumpingfish.net, and that gives you all the latest up-to-date information on both events.
Great. Thank you so much, Jim.
Sure,
and you can definitely go to his website. He has tons of maps, and we'd love to have you be there for our cheering party and cheer Jim in as he comes in. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. And like I said, as of the airing of this show, we are still fighting that pipeline. No decisions have been made yet, so I really encourage you guys to go and get information on that and check it out. And we're going to end this segment with our rain barrel video. So get out your pencil and pad of paper, take some notes, and get ready to do a family project. Thank you so much for joining us and for supporting St. John's Riverkeeper. Have a great day.
Hi, I'm Greg Nagel, Education Director for the St. John's Riverkeeper. I was hoping that my plants would get some water today, but as you can see,